Hey, Steve here, Woodworking Masterclass. Welcome to the workshop. What I've got is some hacks and tips and tricks on how to avoid and how to remedy possible design feature alterations you didn't plan on while using a router table with a profile cutter. These are actually outtakes from a TV show I'm currently making, so they really did happen, but you won't see them in the TV show. But it'll hopefully instill in you an idea that if something goes wrong, it's not the end of the world. Go and have a coffee, sit back, have a rest, come back, have a look at what happened, and hopefully you'll be able to fix it and maybe not make that mistake again. I do still make that same mistake again. Most of these errors have occurred because I was rushing, I wasn't concentrating, or I wasn't really that enthused about what I was doing at the time. So maybe that's a hint to take on board. If you don't feel like doing it, don't do it. Anyway, enjoy how to avoid, how to fix things that can and possibly will go wrong on a router table with a profile bit. Here's what happens when you take too much of a bite and you're going uphill against the grain. You get what they call a kickback. Just like that. It is not very nice at all, and it's one of those things that happen on routers if you're not concentrating. And here's another one. I'm machining the pillar for the harp, put a new template on the top, and didn't check the height of the template. So, what do you think happens? Apart from the fence move, the router bit right into the job and left a big scar. Thinner plywood and the bearing bit into the job. But I think we'll get away with that. Readjust it to the height of your template. There. And we'll try again. Had a couple of hiccups with that, but it's not the end of the world. We can fix it. If you're not used to using a router, get someone else to do it for you, because they really can be quite scary things. I've been using one for over 40 years, and even now I'm a bit meh. And yeah, had a couple of hiccups in that. As you can tell, the bearing slipped, and I've got a gouge there, and I've got another one here halfway down. But all of these can be fixed. That's the beauty. Don't panic. If something goes wrong, just keep on, don't keep going. Acknowledge the mistake, fix it if you can, and then when you get back to the bench, you can fix whatever went wrong. Unexpected design features. So speaking of which, let's fix this one right away. And what I'm going to do with that, that's the bottom. You can see it more clearly there. I've got a chunk out of there. And all I'm going to do is plane that in. So we'll just take it out. It'll be a little bit thinner, but no one really is going to notice if they didn't see the TV show. I'm going to use a spoke shave and just fix it so it runs nicely into this curve here. If you don't have a spoke shave, you could use sandpaper. It would work just as well. With a can of grease to keep it smooth. Now I'll show you that. Just a little bit. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sand that out. Now I could use a block sander, but I'm not. I'm going to use an electric sander because I've got one here. I will hand sand it at some point. So I think I'm going to have to hand sand in here. If you look there, I don't know if you can see it, but I've got, obviously must have a mark in the route a bit, and there's a bit of raised timber. So I'm going to have to take that out. You can use a spoke shave for that. The external or the convex surface, you use a flat spoke shave. But when you're using internal cuts, you need a convex spoke shave to do the concave, if that makes sense. So there's a flat one for outside circles, a rounded one for inside circles. And because I can, what I will do, this portion going downhill, I can do easily enough. But if I start going uphill with the spoke shave, I'm going to get tear out. So for ease of camera work, I'll turn this around and I will go downhill. So that's basically the pillar done. We've got a bit more work to do on it, but the overall shape is there. Now I don't particularly like using MDF as a template to route on because it does wear. So what I will show you is a way you can use it, but you only have to use it once, and saves you template, saves you a lot of heartache too. What I will do later on, when I find a piece of plywood, I will recut this using plywood, and that will give me a much stronger template, because I think I'm going to be making a fair few of these. Okay, and can't stress it enough, eye and ear protection. As I said before, I don't really like using MDF as a template because it's not super strong and it can wear. The other thing is, it's not thick enough for the bearing on that cutter to run smoothly. And this is what happens. You get a ridge that is actually the material going between the bearing and the cutter. So if you've got a bigger, thicker jig, then the bearing can run comfortably on that, and the cutter will actually be above the work you're using. But that's not a problem, and I'll show you why, and I'll show you another way that you can avoid using MDF once you've used it once. Now this ridge, I want to get rid of it and also use this as a template. And what's going to happen, because I've got area here that's been machined, the bearing can run comfortably on that. It will clean that edge up and also profile this bit underneath. So again, another bit of double-sided tape. Bring it in so the bearing is running on this top one, and we've got cutter that'll clean that edge up and also shape what we want. So there's ways around things. If you've got MDF and you do one jig and you haven't got any plywood or haven't got any way of getting a thicker jig, that's the way you get out of the problem. Well, I hope that wasn't too cringeworthy, and maybe you picked a couple of things up out of that and you can utilise it in your own woodworking journey. How to avoid issues and how to fix them if they do occur. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said, they won't be in the TV show, but the TV show, when it's released, I'll let you know, and it's all on building a harp. Till then, this is Steve pulling the shed door down, saying remember to keep it sharp, but more importantly, keep it safe. Look after yourself, be kind to each other, and I look forward to your company in the workshop at a workbench again very, very soon. Till then, take care. Bye for now. God bless.